3, 2, 1, go!
Boys and girls, we are bringing you every game from now until the end of the season. In fact, we've shown you a lot of the games recently, and there's 2 more for you today after last episode. And I know it's a bit of a spoiler because you can see it on the screen, but believe me, if you've not watched last episode, it is a joy to behold. Today then, we face Livorno and Roma, and based upon the Serie A league table, we've got a game in hand now against some of the sides above us. And if we win that game, you can already see that suddenly 60 points, 4 clubs, and things are getting very interesting. Milan and Juventus are battling for the title at the top, and none of the 4 teams below them are going to reach that. But Spal on 57 beat Livorno, who are an average mid-table side, and all of a sudden the conversation gets very interesting. With the game against Roma today, the landscape of Serie A's European spots could look entirely different. So, an exciting time. Let's kick things off though straight away with Livorno. As I say, we've played no games since we last met, so let's run you through the team for AS Livorno. So, team-wise, we're going very much for the familiar lineup. Pozovec in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Diaz and Casasola, Barloco at left-back, Toscano in the centre with Batista and Luca, Yosu in behind Heister and Spira. And there's something I missed last episode that some of you picked up on. I didn't pick up on. And that is that Miguel Luis is out for 3 to 4 months with a torn calf muscle, and as a result was recalled by Sporting, and his loan spell is now over, which I guess makes sense. I mean, he can't play again for us. But it was a shock to my system, so it's sad to lose him. He was a very pivotal part of our team this year. 3 goals, all of which I think were always stunners. 18 appearances, a 7.22, and had a good time. To be honest, played in the Champions League and the Europa League for me too, and he'll be missed. Maybe one day he'll return. At 23 years of age, very low cost on Miguel Luis. We may well just see that man again in the summer. Also, just to fill you in on Mario Scrivani, he did not want to talk to me because of the contract negotiations falling through before. We'll still go in for him though at some point, probably, maybe not. Let's keep a little bit of mystery. So into the game against Livorno we go. Heister and Spira are going to be pivotal today. We need both of them scoring if they can create a partnership going into those 3 games as well. Coming up next episode against Inter Milan. 3 games in 1 episode, all against Inter. But before that, a job has to be done. We have to keep ourselves ready and able in not only the league, but in for the cup competition as well, of course, in the Europa League. And hopefully that will get it done today. Of course, we're on a directory because of last episode. We'll just change that quickly. Livorno are a side that I don't think have got too many players that you'll know. They've got Yoselu. It's quite similar to Yoselu. Oh, I mean, very similar. Just 1 letter between them. My God, I really need to get excited about things more genuinely exciting, not names of people that look similar. If I see a fireworks display, I'm going to go ballistic. Okay, then, as mentioned in the preview when we were looking at the league table, a win today and we put ourselves right in contention as Ruben Diaz, he's the 3rd highest average rating in the league, gets the goal, still on loan. I mean, Ruben Diaz is the one player that if we don't end up signing in some capacity or just getting on loan again next season, I fear for our chances. I think he's a huge part of why this team is so good, and he gets us underway with a 1-0 lead. 2.5 minutes gone. Lovely old job. The mouse is going wild as there's a free kick for them, and was I a little bit overzealous with the mouse? I'm starting to question whether that was that my fault. I mean, it's quite a angle. Look at the state of the walls. They look different. Just leave it, Ben. Puts it in, deflects in, Pozovec beaten, 1-1. Hopefully that's just a one-off. You know, these things happen. Hopefully the defence stay cool and calm. Because of the goal, Diaz is having a good game. But really, we need these front 6, these front 5 even, to produce something. We're putting it all on them. Will it be a cross from a wing-back? Will it be a strike from Dorian? Something, please. Well, if we lose this, it's a tiny problem. Because, of course, if we beat Roma, we'll then be level on points with them. But I'd rather have a bit of a gap created. So far in the game, 41 minutes scored, about 12 shots, 4 on target. No clear opportunities though, 3 half chances. Of course, Livorno have only scored that free kick. And as we go towards half time into the second half, I've got to be starting to think already, is there a change out there that needs to be made? Gutklu potentially coming on might be the switch. I mean, you can get Gutklu playing the channels, getting the ball into the middle. We'll leave it for now. We'll say we owe Livorno after last time, and my motivation is key. They look very happy about that. Right, 1-1, 45 minutes. This is a big old game. It really is. Because it means that if we win this one, we can kind of afford to draw with Roma and still be right in amongst it. Whereas if you lose this game, you've got to beat Roma, and that puts a lot of pressure on that game. It's a free kick in Livorno's favour. It's knocked down. Pozovec with a massive save. Huge save from Pozovec. And now, can we break forward with it? No, Batista clears it forward. It's going to remain 1-1. Plenty of time left, though. I think Gutklu coming on might well be the only change we make. I'm debating going on sort of more counter-attacking style, but we've had a lot of possession. We're just not creating anything clear-cut. I might, control style, and we're going to bring Gutklub on within that because he's a little bit taller, a little bit better at maybe the hold-up play. I'm tempted to play him out on the wing. This might seem a bit crazy as a wide target man. This is going to seem bizarre, but when he assists Dorian for the winner, you'll see why. He's quite tall, he can play out there as a winger, and he's got an attacking threat. We're not taking off a midfielder to put him out there, we're taking off a striker, so the threat should still remain. And actually what we'll do is we'll play Dorian very central now. Let's see how this goes. We've got a little bit of overlap potential as well with Barloco now, getting up there and overloading that side. Are we going to see much of it though? In fact, with that in mind, we're going to push Barloco further forward. It's getting a little bit, if you watch Road Trip, it's a little bit Dortmund all of a sudden. And we find a goal. We're going to go attacking again. The control system hasn't really worked. And this is a very even game. We've had a few of these this season where it's been a draw. And it's in games where really we could probably have won it. As the time has ebbed away, we've not seen anything happen. I thought that very subtle change might have made the difference. Maybe a midfielder should have changed. Maybe we pushed Toscano on. I mean, it's easy to tell these things in hindsight. I just figured we'd get the goal. Well, a draw isn't the worst result ever. It still means if we beat Roma, we'll leapfrog them. But it's a game that really, when we look at the end of the season and we try and figure out why we've not quite qualified in 5th position, this is the sort of game that has let us down. Good news for us, though, is that Inter lost in a game that Jeffrey Schlupp got sent off. Jeffrey Schlupp got sent off. Good news for us, though. Jeffrey Schlupp gets sent off for Sampdoria, but they still beat Inter 1-0. Demetrius, we'll just stick with Demetrius. I even said the first name wrong to begin with. So Inter not having the best of times of it either, and they are right behind us. So if they'd have won that game, they would have overtaken us, but that's not happened. Okay, week to go. Roma at the end of the week then, and well, the time is flying by. If anything happens in between, I shall let you know. Sure, we'll scout them. Occasionally, you just get a bit of a superstar come through. Any of these superstars? Just 3-star players, 3.5-star. Yeah, that's common. Finally, that quarter-final's taken place, and Tottenham have beaten Marseille. I mean, that's taken a long time. Okay, folks, second game of the day, and one change. Toussaint's going to come in for Toscano in the centre. That's going to be the only change for the game. Batista, Luca. Oh, do you know what? There's a temptation to get Fabregas involved a little bit more, and maybe play him maybe in the advanced position. Like we did it against Chelsea. It didn't have a major impact, but I just think late season, he's not the quickest, but he's got all the technical ability, all the mental ability in the world. And having him up there, just behind Heiser and Spira, who aren't the most experienced of players, might unlock a few doors. Who wants Heiser at the moment? Atletico and Benfica. 200 million. That's the asking price. We're going to give Seska a go. It might seem crazy considering he's not in massively fit condition, but if we can get an early lead at that point, we can make a change, maybe bring Toscano on and play a slightly defensive system for the second half at least. But it's about getting an early lead. I feel like we're away from home. If you can just nick one early on, that will go a long way to getting a result in this game. But here it is then. It's Spal Roma. This is one of the bigger games as we come to the season's climax. And anything other than a defeat and the dream of a Europa spot stays alive as the ball was dangerously played in and the highlight ended. Who knows what happened? And I've not seen it so tight between those 4 teams all season. And as we get to the end of the season, all of a sudden here we go. As the ball's played in, Luka just about heads it clear. We've got to get out to him. The shot comes in. Pozarek! I've got to say, he's mighty unlucky there. He saves an initial shot onto the post, which then comes out and it's easily finished off. That, to me, is unfortunate. We'll look at it in 3 dimensions. I don't know. Do you think that's pretty unlucky? I don't know. So Sassone with the shot, he smashes it at Pozarek, who just gets it onto the angle almost, and nearly makes the second save as well. Wallace with the finish. Unfortunate. Can we answer back immediately, or do we need to play a more counter-attacking style? We're not seeing great performances recently out of Dorian or Spira. I need to see 2 of them combining and making something happen, and maybe this will be the chance. Luca into Spira now, plays it back to Fabregas. Alexander-Arnold, right side, ball into the middle. Perhaps Dorian's there at the front post, and just as you name check them, just as you ask for something, that reminds me a lot of Monnier, where I would ask something of Monnier. Sorry if you don't enjoy the sort of the previous references. If you watch the series, you'll get it. Previously had a striker, Gilles Monnier, in the Parma series. You demanded a goal and he'd give it to you. And Dorian Heiser seemingly has that ability, and that's why I love him so much. Dorian Heiser is already in like my top 5 players on FM on YouTube already. And we're, 50-something episodes in? I just love that I've played him so much that he's become good, and I wasn't sure if he would. I'm just excited. Because you have a lot of those players sometimes. You have a player that is 4-star ability and 5-star potential, but then he just becomes 4-star ability. And it's a bit like, it's almost like I was expecting so much more and it didn't quite happen. Or they switch to 3.5 when you get better players in. Whereas Dorian continually has something else to prove, it seems. And that's what makes him so exciting, that he's not finished here. There's still more to come from him. Now, a draw against Roma would I don't really know if that's good or not. I guess it is. It would massively then go down to that Inter game to see what we could do in that one as they come forward, Roma. He's very isolated on his own. Shot on goal, though. Pozovec makes an easy-ish save. And the game is still, I dare say, in Roma's favour. They've got far more of the ball. They're doing more with it. Do we need to have a change of system? We've got half an hour to go. Do I trust what we've got out there? I mean, Spira, again, is having a very iffy game. You'd think, based on all his attributes, it'd be playing better. His work rate might be a big factor in all of this. I think that's something that Renzi kind of overlooks, that he was a workhorse as well as a finisher, and we don't quite have that with Spira. So in games in which he's not given the ball so much, he's not necessarily helping the team. So we're going to change them around. Maybe Spira is the advanced forward so he can be on the end of things. Maybe working a little bit more might be to our advantage as we work it nicely here. Batista out to Barloco. If he can just keep the ball, we've got every chance. Alexander-Arnold's in loads of space, and Toussaint does brilliantly to find him. Heiss is there at the front post, and Dorian, what a goal that might end up being. 67 minutes on the clock, 22nd goal of the season for Dorian Heiss at a time when he's needed most. He even changed his role round, moving from an advanced forward to a poacher. He's still in there, getting the goal. Alexander-Arnold, great delivery, a great pick out by Toussaint to get it out there in the first place. A ball's whipped in, and Dorian flicks it home. There is 20 minutes to go. I think it would be stupid not to go at least a little more defensively. To stand attacking now and leave us open to that wing play will be dangerous. So with 20 minutes left, we'll keep things relatively the same for now. But I'm thinking, actually, we might go Dorian up top on his own, take Spira off, and bring on even another defender. I'm thinking bringing on Kyriakos Papadopoulos might be the key thing. 5 at the back. Let's go a bit Italian, let's go a bit defensive, and let's try and see this game out now. This is something I do very, very little, it must be said, but we're going to try it out today, and with the time ticking down, this is something I've enjoyed immensely. 10 seconds to go, and I dare say, creating a wall of our own. That's, if anything, I've replicated what Spal is like. What a metaphor for Spal. We created our own little wall, and they could not blow it down, and there we go then, a great win away from home against Roma. Now, the Livorno result now is very frustrating, but it puts us on 61 points. The 3 teams behind us all on 60. Napoli with a game in hand, Inter with a game on hand. It could get very interesting indeed if Inter, for example, win their game and Napoli lose theirs with a 59, 3 60s and us on a 61. Our goal difference not the best. Our head-to-head against teams like Roma especially, this will go a long way to improving that. But what a result from us. A great performance from Dorian Heiss as well, getting 2 goals in the game. And my word, all of a sudden, Spal, I mean, 3rd place, remember, gets the Champions League spot, not just the Europa League spot, but a Champions League spot, and it's all up for grabs. Of course, we could still get it by winning the Europa League, but that is a long way off yet, I dare say. And that's going to conclude then today's episode as the game saves on the old weekly updates, which is like all the weekly rolling saves. That's going to bring us to the end. If you've enjoyed today's video, then please do drop a like on it. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel, and we'll love with care from me as a until next time. Next episode should be a bit of a corker. Goodbye.